Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about AR-15 accuracy, okay? What makes for an accurate AR-15. And we're going to assume that you know how to shoot, okay? So we're going to eliminate the shooter from this, right? And we're also going to assume that the scope is sitting properly on the rifle, that it's torqued down, and the scope itself is not wobbling. So we're basically just talking about the gun here, right? Well, the reality is that it's not the gun, it's the ammunition, okay? Match grade ammunition makes a big difference. So what I want to talk about here is why is match grade ammunition more accurate than target ammunition. So what I'll do is when I run match grade ammunition through a chronograph and I look at the speed between, let's say I shoot 5 rounds, right? I do a 5-round string. When I look at the difference in the speed between the fastest and the slowest bullet, it's usually somewhere in the area of 30 feet per second. Okay, so that's the difference in speed between my fastest and my slowest bullet with match grade ammunition, about 30 feet per second. When I shoot target ammunition, right? If I'm shooting good target ammunition, right, or a lot of times it's just a luck of the draw, right? So if I'm shooting good target ammunition, the deviation, right, between the fastest and the slowest bullet will be about 50 feet per second. Okay, usually the average is somewhere about 70 feet per second. Okay, that tends to be more the average that I see with target ammunition. Shoot 5 rounds. If I look at the slowest bullet and the fastest bullet, it's usually about 70 feet per second. But quite often, that variance will open up to as much as 130 feet per second, and I've seen it as high as 150 feet per second. Okay, between the slowest and the fastest bullet. Okay, so that is the thing that is going to make the biggest difference. As far as your accuracy, provided again that you know how to shoot, you're holding the gun steady, and the scope or the whatever aiming device you have on the gun, it's torqued down correctly. The ammunition is what's going to make the difference. Now, match ammunition is expensive, right? So what I try to do is, I always try to buy 1,000 rounds at a time, right? Of target ammunition. And what I do is I'll run it through chronograph. I'll do some accuracy testing, and if I see that this is accurate target ammunition, right? Where the bullet variances are, let's say, closer to the 50 feet per second, right, between the fastest and slowest bullet. If I identify, okay, this is accurate ammunition, I'll take that. I'll mark it, accurate. I'll put that on the side, and I'll just use that for my distance shooting. And then sometimes, like if I let's say get another 1,000 rounds, and I run that through a chronograph, and I see that the variance between the fastest and the slowest bullet is closer to, let's say, 100 feet per second, right? Shoot 5 rounds, difference fastest, slowest bullet, 100 feet per second. Yeah, I'll take that, and I'll call that CQB ammunition, right? I'll use that for shooting those rims here at close range at 30 yards, okay? Not that I can't get to 100 yards, but at 100 yards, the group will open up to about 3 or 4 inches, okay? So that's what I do to kind of, I select target ammunition that's accurate. I test it, because here's the thing, I can't shoot match grade, expensive ammunition all the time, even when I'm shooting at long distance, okay? So I try to select target ammunition, right, through testing, right, that is going to be accurate it's going to be accurate and I can use at longer range. And then if I also have the match ammunition where, hey, okay, I really need these shots to be as accurate as possible, fine. Today, let's say if I'm doing some testing, I'm shooting whatever, 600 yards, I'll use that match ammunition for then. Okay, so the ammunition is the most important thing as far as accuracy. When they load the match ammunition, when they load the cases, they take extra steps, extra measures to make sure that the same gunpowder falls into each case so it will get a consistent burn, which will produce consistent velocities from one bullet to the other. So that's why match grade ammunition is more expensive, right? Because you got to take all these extra steps. As far as accuracy, ammunition, man, that's where the difference is. Now, you guys have seen me do lots of videos where I am shooting budget AR-15s, Palmetto State Armory, okay, Smith & Wesson, Radical, Colt, okay, and I've tested and shot lots of other rifles. I can't remember right now. And with almost any AR-15 out there, if I put match grade ammunition into it, it will shoot a half-inch group. Okay, now I'm not going to get it every time because I'm not that good. Okay, my shooting is not going to be that consistent where I can get a half-inch group every time. And also, if I'm shooting outdoors, the wind can be, I mean, even like today doesn't seem windy, but if I look at the wind ribbons over there, I can see it flickering a little bit. So even though there's not a lot of wind, there's a little bit of wind. So that can also move your bullets around a little bit. So what I find, if I can shoot if I shoot a rifle at 100 yards and I get a half-inch group, more than 2 or 3 times with match grade ammunition, I'm going to say that that's a half MOA rifle. And what I find is that almost all the rifles that I have tested with match ammunition turn out to be half MOA rifles. And the reason for that is these companies, these AR-15 companies, they buy the rifling equipment from somebody else. Okay, so there's only a handful of companies in the United States that sell rifling equipment for AR-15s, and it just doesn't make sense that they would, build machines that don't do the best job possible, right? I mean, they would actually have to go out of their way to make a rifling machine that doesn't work as good, okay? So it makes sense that they sell the same rifling equipment to all AR-15 companies, that's why with almost all AR-15s that I have tested with match ammunition, they all will more or less hit that half-inch group with good ammunition. Okay, so and it doesn't matter what barrel length, does not matter here. I've shot it with 7.5 all the way out to 18 inches. I have tested it. They'll all hit half-inch groups. Okay, it's just you got to find the right you got to shoot it with the right ammunition, meaning match grade ammunition. Drop some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Talk to y'all soon.